Business Today is brought to you by...
Shouldn't banking start with you? After all, it's your life and we're just one part of it. So no matter what life throws at you, at Scotiabank we guide you through it with people who actually listen and with services that enable what matters most to you. Because at Scotiabank, it starts with you.
This is Business Today. I'm Marlon Madden. One local investment firm is calling for it to be mandatory for all companies in Barbados to have a pension plan in place for their employees. Vice President and Country Head of Royal Fidelity, Gillian Nunes, tells Business Today she is generally pleased that a lot of individuals have been setting up their own pension plans. However, she said it should be a must that all employers put one in place.
There's never too much saving for pensions. Basically, it's a long-term product that you're saving for the future. A lot of things can change in your lifetime. So it's essential to supplement whatever savings you do have. A lot of companies still don't have pension plans, and I think that's significant, and it should be, I think, a mandatory thing in Barbados that you have a company pension plan. I think that's maybe something that we do fall short here in making it mandatory for all companies to offer a pension plan. Because you do want to have that three-pronged approach. You do want your NIS, your company, and then your own personal savings. So pensions for us is an important product.
She explains that there are several options and employers can choose the pension plan they believe would work best for them.
You have two types of pension plans when it comes to pension plans. It's either a defined benefit or a defined contribution. More and more companies are moving towards the defined contribution because basically once they pay their contribution, then that's it, right? They've shifted the risk onto the employee. Whereas with a defined benefit plan, the risk is at them if there's a shortfall. They have to make it up, the liability. With the DC plans, which more, as I said, more and more companies are moving toward, the individual employee also has more options. Typically, let's take a small company of maybe 10 people, and you try to create a pension plan for them. What that means is all 10 persons are invested into one pool of assets, and it doesn't matter if in that 10 there's a guy who's 55 or a guy who's 25, and they're taking on the same risk of that pool. Whereas with some DC plans like our own, you can have those 10 individuals owning 10 different portfolios suitable to their own risk profiles. And that's the beauty of a multi-employer pension plan, which is a DC plan as well.
One investment manager is hoping that activities on the Barbados Stock Exchange will increase once local economic conditions improve. Portfolio manager of Fortress Fund Managers, Chris Callender, says besides more trading, he's anticipating a rise in the number of companies that will be listed on the stock exchange. In addition, he's hoping that government will consider listing some state-owned entities. Callender was speaking during the second annual Lunch and Learn session at Fortress Fund Managers on Wednesday.
If we could get some other products on some other listings, and also even if any likes of how the Trinidad government did their trying to recall the name of the company, where they took some of the entities, plugged it into one company, and listed that on the stock exchange. If they did that, that'd be great. It'd be also, I actually believe some of the companies that are actually listed may want to raise more capital. They might do it via equity, they may do it via bonds, I don't know. Once things clear up in Barbados, I think companies will start to get a lot more active in capital markets. So there'll be opportunities for us as institutional investors to invest, and for everybody else as retail investors to have an opportunity.
As investigations continue into alleged corruption at the state-owned oil company Petrocaribe in Jamaica, reports indicate that money in the company's development fund is to be transferred to the consolidated fund. According to reports in the Financial Gleaner, in a matter of months, approximately US $1.6 billion, or more than Jamaica $208 billion, in the Petrocaribe fund is to flow to the consolidated fund and could be administered as the Minister of Finance sees fit. The transition is expected to happen by the end of the fiscal year, or by the time the Petrocaribe Development Fund Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Wesley Hughes, leaves office when his contract expires next February. Now for today's financial tip. When considering an investment, it is important that you set long-term goals. Before investing, you should know your purpose for doing so and the likely time in the future you may have a need for the funds. That's been Business Today. Join us again next Tuesday. Until then, you can get more business and news by logging on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribing to our e-paper, and liking us on Facebook. I'm Marlon Madden.